Hello, Tanshe. Mieten ki tamoten ipawian, spevik schwayan Michif. Marcin de Taok Gabriel Dumont Institute. Ego kakio ka kiwi chiwechik. Chiwi kumaga na oj pewi chiwe kistawa. Omaga nakskato yaka. Jega Michif ego chipik schwayaka nosh. Mo parkanche ana glebe do en français, bedo parkanche chipik schwayek. Jega Michif chipik schwayega nosh. Aye, tagon. Magi nakskato yak. Yera swear. Mina epah piach no chgoite va vik schwayak not lang nan kistan bonje gimi go yak. Hey gwani wi komau chipeni kan yamehat Dorothy Aubichon o tauschiu Saskatoon Dorothy pe yamehat.
Good morning, Tansha. You kick Shepaya. Name the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. The budget and mercy the Tamota Kiona Mama Paya. Egum na koese Shaya. Egum dal budget with a tamwak. Kakio koes kakwemian paik. Umake Waikatasikama. Lisa Fausti. Wahia were perfected Lisame Colifam. Tena Tiebeka got a kistage Quema by Kisikak. I come in the Nashkama to Manitoba. A cook is a keep poke. P.S. where we shake. A grand Nashkama in I. Kutaka Kastamin and Stavimaka Sinok. Limited. The next day came. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Merci, Dorothy. Aye. E put the way que no tek skate en ao tane keki wi kom gau ye ko tech pe wi chi we ye kistawa. Kayashuche kamachre ka tashta mach nagatweitamak. Chinakskatok yega Michif speak squek. Ayesh egwa yega na glevel mod big squek. A kostiga mach one tayach not lang nan. Moda betaw yekanak skawat taw yak chikitotat Michif. Maka yera swear ka mach nakskato ya kakyogi big skwanana Michif. Miech tagon haw yeka skeimat Michif ke big squet. Anosh begoche nakskato yak shega kiwanan de me. Maka ki tom matgoy kamigo nan Chinakskato yak mina speak squayak not lang nana Michif. Do tali zame ook we sto pe big squawk. Kuich tamago kwanawewo, tanche satoskechik, tanche swichi wechik, parmili Michif we sto squawk. Nu tebo atau chipe big squat tamawi ani kan Clem Chartier Snickasho, Ile-à-la-Crosse, we can tell, go, Kuich tamago, we are guest jaw, Clem, get big square and Clem.
Merci Norma. Muhtin o te pitoch tianos. Ta appartement qui va ka wispaik. Maar dan mooi geweest gas gedaan te speaks we aan Michif. De kon ge toch dan ka ge precies aan igo ge wanneer dan. Dala tambur. Dala kaf. Dala kaf. Anyway, I want to apologize that I can't really get engaged at this level privately, or I don't get so embarrassed I can carry on a conversation. But I can certainly understand everything that was said. But I just want to say that I'm pleased that so many of our elders, our Michif speakers from across parts of our homeland are able to be here today. Our language is, as you know, very important, but it is also being rapidly lost. And I must commend people like Norman, Rosemary, Edwin, and institutions like the Gabriel Dumont Institute, our minister responsible for language, heritage, and culture, Bruce Dumont, that have this dedication and desire to continue to work on it. I've known a lot of, fine Métis people as I've grown up, and particularly Grandma St. Pierre, two of her sons are here, at least that I noticed, could be more. Very, very knowledgeable people in our culture, in our history, and our language, and that's something we can't forget. And again, it's important for us to capture this, and I'm very pleased again that GDI is recording this so that people like myself can listen and get back, the kind of meaning of it and learn. And I suppose it's not just the boarding school at Ile-à-la-Crosse that led me on the path to losing my language. I'm the youngest. I'm the 10th in a big family. My brothers and sisters can speak, but I can't. And the reason for that, of course, is in one way it's unfortunate, another way it's fortunate for me. I continued going to school. I went to the PA for my grade 10 and 11. Then I went to this Notre Dame College for my grade 12 and 3 years of arts. And then later I went to law school. And I really didn't live in my community all that much. And so that's why I go home. I listen and I can learn. But I don't get to practice it all the time, which is very unfortunate. And I guess I will pick it up when I retire and I go home. Then I'll get back into it, and then I will learn it and be able to speak it. But unfortunately, it may take until then. Although I do have the fine books that the MMF has been putting out, GDI, Metis Nation, BC, and there's no reason why I can't be learning it as we go along, and I am trying. But I just want to say again that it's very important that this message that you want to give gets out to our younger people. And we do have our youth meeting on the same floor at the other part of this building, and it will be very good if you can interact with the youth and get them interested and involved in wanting to learn the language. I know they express that, but it's the follow-up between meetings that's so important, and we need to continue to encourage them to participate in this language. But anyway, I am truly, I guess, blessed and honored to be able to be here for as much as possible. I do have some other things that I need to do today, but I want to sit and listen and learn, and I believe I'll be learning from the best. Thank you.
Merci, Clement. Qua si mschete kutoak kiapich kitashinan big skoya ka Michif. Magam mschet kashkitawagen stochtach kik magan moye kashkitawag big skoychik. Magam mina nizafa ute no tek skit tamok tanchich big skoychik am Michif. We are all kach la chanski yawak chipek skitach kik. Ayishkash Kaya she umaka machawan tayak not long nan. Mahpo sagogik skate nan. want to die not long now. Leave you, what Moshom Nanik, come Nanik, leave you. Come much one high cook. I would take each skate one not long, I want to dark, I want to die. I want high cook, not parantina. I want to know that what Kayashu Chigao Schemak, which Atushana Sam, a well lama or gawi hack, Chipepik squat we sta. We sta no take skate them la lang the Michif Kayash house chui chi wet. Spnerak schemak, spnerak schok. Mama o papa gi pik skoyo Cree na watch magel Michif-speaking skate them up. We any kani we go liminispeik. Can we chi wet avec les Michif, les Michif kaituanan dalbi si ututeo Bruce Dumont nikka shoyel minis kap schaba takoma kapik squat am ich not lang in anego oma geist chige ja kan im ja ke wa kamuch kan ta ja kam Michif wan mit der shit kam Bruce Dumont go na te boata.
Marseille, Norman. Tanshikyo. I have to apologize also. I'm not fluent in Michif, but I'm just very honored to be here to, get a gathering of the knowledge, experienced people that are very fluent in our language, and we certainly have to carry on that, to pass it on to the youth. Myself, as a National Minister of Culture, Heritage and Language, I'm very committed to that ministry. We've, it takes resources to ensure that the language is not lost. And certainly we don't have the resources throughout our homeland to do that, but we've done wonders with what we have had. So talking about what Manitoba has done, Saskatchewan, BC gets a very small portion, Ontario and Alberta, but we as a Métis, we're very resilient, we're very determined, we always persevere, we will survive, we are survivors, and but that's the way we are. And my personal life in 1949, 1950s when I started school, and of course my parents didn't want to teach me the language. I learned the language just sitting around the supper table, and of course my parents were fluent in the Cree language. They spoke a bit of Michif. Both my grandparents were interpreters for the federal government, and it's very unfortunate. I was denied that opportunity, and like I said, my parents didn't really want us to learn because it would impact on our schooling, but we know better now that that was not the case. So as a minister, we have a National Michif working group, and we need more elders. We need more speakers in that group. We have Rosemary McPherson, we have Norman, we have Armin Murray that just joined us, but the rest of us are basically English speaking. A lot of us are technicians, and because of our education and having to go away to school, we weren't allowed that privilege to stay at home and speak the language. Both my parents are gone now. My father passed away in 92 and my mother in 99, but there's regrets because you didn't have enough time to spend with your parents once you left home. You're too busy trying to earn a living, and I went to NAIT in Alberta, took an electronics trade, and then I spent 20 years in the forest industry in BC. I went bed logging with my dad, and then I was a safety officer with the workers' compensation for 14 years. Just retired on February the 1st. But the language is very important. And I don't know if this is one of the first ever gatherings of total Michif speakers, but we have to have more throughout the provinces, not only in Saskatchewan, you know, the rest of the Board of Governors members in BC and Alberta, Manitoba and Ontario, to carry on this language. And we involve the youth in the province of BC. I am the Metis Nation BC president as of December of 2005. But we have the veterans and a couple of speakers that come to the youth in our province. But that's, you know, you have to really be immersed in the language to live with it before you really learn it. You can read all you want out of the book or listen, but if you don't have someone to converse with, it's really hard. And that's where it lies with me, because I don't have someone. I live on Vancouver Island, just out of Parksville, and I'm not making excuses, but that's the reality. And it's really important, and I'm honored to be able to say a few words here, thanks to GDI, and I just look forward to listening to you folks. Like I say, I grew up with it, and I catch on fairly quick, and Norman's been a big help, and Rosemary, so thank you very much for your time.
Merci, Bruce. Seems chet we apek salang moiwak abat stau. Hegi on tatu ista. Kitamag itagon. Kitamag show yak talanga ish kabik shwayan kshkitagon tande uschien. Agon makami gawian gewayan magal Michif-wik kabik shwayan in lang. Ginak shkaog utali mod yera swear. Mokachi benak shkaog. Magagamach bik shwayak shemak shkita kwantande ustiak. Nimyeh tenanak shkatoyak. Be magegwe Michif mache tam gegwe. Myeh tam gegwe gawi tam wat kanak shkawat Michif. Shemak si temik kiksi te tam shemak. Mo yek mache mwewe Michif. Moga mache mege Michif. Shemak nak shkawat kapite wa kashamik. Shemak kakshkeitam chinotek shkeim eshawiak. Ki shpin ka afpoche wakomat na dau kim shkenan chwakotoyak. Hawiak makozin ka itao ego nishtao ego. Na dau shchwakotok na dau ksiteh tagon. Aye kwa omagitok nan chi achmoyek tandeus chiek isto tanchishne kashoyek. Anakawi tap mat akanakawi how kachmon tandeus chi tanala person tap shomaga tanchishne kasho tandeus chi mina ye. Okay. Ke guai no te kiwehta chikiwehta taek kiawo kiweko omat ke guai kam shkamek with a dali meeting chiach moye ke guai no te benata mek with a kiawo maka beit te ko maka benak shrato ya mina dan shoma ka shinaga tuehta mek moye por la lang de Michif maka dan chikeo ke guai ustaegi goakom ce pagote tamak ke guai ce ustaag tap schoya di rasata shi kamedo di sweater ustau ke guai li capucho ustae ko squasho ye ka chmo ustau ka ustau ka kio ke guai ustae ki guak mo ma ga kinwauche mo ka ya ka ta kinwesh big square te biak chui ha ye kana kamit na ona da 7 minute Anna kawi tap mat chipik shwa ek chikawech matande uschi tanchishne kashat. Yoma kayam tai ko kon magacha musta o kamina kacha mo na o so 7 minute te ana o chinakshkato yek ekwa kawi shona o Karon Shmon ni kana gon na gawi how nia okay surprise che what that chini pau yek apre chui ha yek anaka what asasi wa naka kawi tap ma yek magan mo shemak met shem 7 minute kamit na o chinakshkato yek chipik shwek tama.
Good morning. I have to apologize too for not knowing Michif. I'm very sorry that my mom was a speaker, but so I'm only one generation away from having lost it. But I hope through efforts like this that both my generation and the generations to come will be able to speak Michif and keep the language an ongoing part of our culture. I have to thank the Gabriel Dumont Institute Board of Governors and Executive Director Jordy McCaffrey for supporting this initiative because they enable our department to do our work. I'd like to introduce our staff, Janessa Temple, David Morin, Darren Prefontaine. We have a student, Amy Gallagher, helping us. We're wearing blue tags, so if you need any help today, find one of us and we'll give you a hand with whatever way we can. I have a couple of housekeeping details to take care of, and that inside your folder in your kit is a thing called a release form, which means that if you sign it, you're agreeing that we can film you today and take your picture, because we want to include all the speakers in a book that we're making that shows who came to the meeting. And that's one of the purposes of us doing a little videotape biography of you as well. You'll tell us a bit about yourself, and that will go into the book as well. We're very pleased that as much of the meeting as possible can be conducted in Michif, so we want you to spend the entire day enjoying using your language. I know it's a rare opportunity, so don't worry about us that can't understand you. It's all going to be translated later. Over the noon hour, we need you to sign another form which would enable us to give you your travel and sustenance check and your consultant fee that we arranged for today. And so we will do that over the noon hour. Probably while we're eating, we'll maybe ask people to come to the table and do the signing on that. It's just one of those things that has to be taken care of. One last thing, and then we'll probably have more to talk about, but if the weather is so bad tomorrow that people can't drive, I will make arrangements to have the hotel carry us for one more night. We don't have that in the budget, but I don't expect anybody to put their life at risk to get home, and so we can check the roads in the morning, and I'll give you my home phone number before the end of today so that we can make that arrangement if necessary. It might be pretty bad, and you might be better off waiting until Monday. We'll see how the rest of today goes. So for the example of the introduction, I'll do mine in English, and Norman will introduce me in Michif, just so you get an idea of what we're asking for. So I would say, good morning. I'd like to introduce you to Norman Fleury. He's from a community just outside of Virden, Manitoba. What he's hoping to see out of this meeting is that Michif speakers have a chance to get to know each other better and to decide how they will preserve and promote the Michif language. And something that you might find interesting about him is that he will be going to Denmark very soon to speak about the Michif language.
Thank you, merci. Ka kiwi hit wishta Karon Shmon shnika show ota Saskatoon we kill Gabriel Dumont Institute ota gat sket agon makam ye ta khoya ta shikh ka finger weaving shnika teo egomina kayashus chega chat sket Gabriel Dumont Institute be oyega kikchiwichi weta machi la langue de Michif machi chitashtamak Giga gwetche meo kach keol moda tetchwichi got li liv chu shepe hakek e wali video tape ki ustawak mischet Gabriel Dumont ayawak la langue de Michif kawik skehta mek we awa tawag e wak li liv e wali video kach keo ge goya Michif u shepe gateo u agotaka shwichi wet Karon.
Thank you.
Okay, go. Okay, gainton. Ego. Agora bicho biden l'anglais, okay. Bicho biden mat. Datamon, okay. Agora me pegou que esquenta mana na anglais, okay, jeito é. Aí jeito esta muito que espendo ao chibik squana na anglais moega escutania. Mocacha agora mangi be big squan. Ego que ego Chipe picture egota. Gaga kwechma o geki spina ya ok a microphone. Do you guys have the microphone handy if we're going to do the introductions? Not yet. Okay. Moya singas kitan gakske gawi big square skau. Ki moch. Okay, ki o ego. Okay. Kapeachmona o yak chipe one tanchishne kashut tande utet umaga chipe hakke on magachmona o tap schomaga ki speak skoyani anikan ona we be tutet the chpeni bawie wana ke o wana li brav ke o omala tam gamatstan parduga betutana o Bij Wiekskwijk.